Welcome to UWS Weekly, a show that is dedicated to covering United Women's Soccer, a national pro-am league with your host, Jonathan Ward. Each and every week, we will highlight players, supporters, and staff of the clubs we all pride ourselves to support in North America. The UWS is a league that is committed to advancing women's soccer. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to UWS Weekly, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel, a show dedicated to the best pro-am community in North America. This past year, we've seen a large growth for both UWS and UWS2, and we're really excited to see what 2022 brings for the leagues. Tonight, I'm stoked to have the opportunity to talk to three amazing individuals from our national champion, the Santa Clarita Blue Heat. I'd like to welcome Captain Lauren Sesselmann, Armenian national member Sydney Vermillion, and head coach Leonardo Neveleff. Thank you for taking the time, guys. How are you all doing?
Fabulous. Excited to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. I'm really excited about this. It's season 2, episode 1. Get the national champions on board. Let's go. So, hey, as we get started, I know you guys have a lot to talk about and a lot to share. But first off, I have to ask, Sydney, you were with the club back as early as 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Lauren, you came to the club in 2017. And Ludi, you've been with the club since about the same time as Lauren. What drew you to this magnificent club?
Sid, do you want to?
Yeah, I'll start. So I was playing in the WPSL before I started playing in the UWS, and I wanted something a little bit more competitive, and I think I wanted to play against more teams that were out of the state of California. So I was approached by Carlos, and Carlos said, do you want to play? And I jumped on the opportunity and, started playing with Blue Heat, and the talent of the team the first year was absolutely incredible. I think we won the West Coast Conference the first year, and the rest was history. I got my first season in, and I was like, you know what, this is it for me.
Yeah, I mean, just to echo Sid, when I retired from playing pro, I still kind of had that hunger and desire, and I moved to LA, and I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my career, but also was just wanted to keep playing. I love the game so much, and I was approached by Carlos as well. I feel like Carlos just knows everybody. And he kind of just reached out and was like, hey, there's an opportunity for you to come play on this team. And, it's highly competitive. And I was also getting into the mentorship side of the game and becoming an agent and doing all this stuff. And I was like, well, what better way for me to connect with, these younger players that want to go on to play, either in college or at the pro level afterwards, than be a part of this program. And, it's been phenomenal. I've had so much fun, playing for Ludi, playing for Carlos and the rest of the team, and just being able to play with and against such phenomenal talent. We've had so many great players come through this program. So, it's a true honor to step on the field with Sid and all the other players and just to kind of see their careers just take off. Like seeing Sid with our Armenian national team, it brings tears to my eyes. Like I'm just so proud of her and so excited. So
I love you.
Yeah. So the opportunity just to be a part of Blue Heat it's been really phenomenal for me, especially when I was going through my concussions and, soccer was my happy place. So being able to be a part of Blue Heat has always been my happy place.
Yeah. And I known Carlos for years and years, since Coach Guillermo was coaching Blue Heat, and I'm a good friend with him too. He decided to step aside, and I got the call from Carlos asking me if I want to be part of the Blue Heat, and I didn't think twice. I was like, I said yes right away, and and here I am.
So I have to ask, was there a mindset that was instilled early on by the staff for how the team expected to play here in 2021? Ludi, Sid, Lauren?
Yes. The first thing I told Lauren, the first practice, I was like, these are my third year and her third year with the team, and the third time is the charm. So we set up our goal to win everything, and we work hard for it. So, but yeah, we had the mindset to go for everything.
I mean, I think too, just to echo that, like, just see the amount of talent that Carlos brings in and Ludi brings in. I mean, from the get-go, they're always searching for the best players across the nation to bring and be a part of this squad. So I think the mindset starts there with the type of people that he brings into the program. Just good, hardworking girls that want to be there, want to showcase their skills, and they want to win. So I think that's like super important.
Yeah.
Sydney, what about you?
I agree. I think every time coming in, I know that when I show up to practice, I'm going to be playing with the best girls in the country. So I think immediately, like before I come in, it's just the standard. Like, you know, you're coming in and you're competing for a spot. All the girls are competing for a spot. So you go in there just like ready to compete and play and, you know, be the best you can be. So I think, you know, it's a mindset that's like already instilled like before we even get there, just because the standard that Blue Heat's been at for so many years.
Well, I have to ask. So each of you brings a different perspective. You've all played at a high level in the game. But what is more important, especially this year, looking at the team and the way it was made up? What's more important, overall talent or cohesion? And how does the club find that perfect mix?
I think they go hand in hand, because you can have a lot of talent and not having the cohesion, or you can have the cohesion and you don't have the talent. Carlos is a phenomenal recruiter. He got the talent, and with the help, you know, with Lauren, Sydney, and all the experienced players, they transmit everything to the players. And I think this year we have both. The team they had a great chemistry between the players, and it was the year. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, just to go off that, exactly what Ludi just said. I mean, I think we have such a mixture of youth and veteran type players that I think it really adds a special element, and we're able to work together, like us veteran players like Sid and I, able to, you know, work with the youth. That we have some high schoolers and stuff like that. So I think that everyone just really values and respects each other and what they bring, their talents on and off the field, and what they bring. And I think it starts with that. You know, I respect everybody that steps onto that pitch, and they respect me as a veteran player. And I think that's what makes the team really tick.
Yeah, we had a great balance, I think, of personalities on the team too. All the girls were great. You know, there was nobody that came in, you know, with a lot of ego or thinking that they're better than everybody. I think we all came in like ready to compete and ready to play. And we worked hard at practice and in games, and you could tell that like we were all there for the same purpose, and it was, you know, to win that championship.
Yeah, and let me add that something, because having experienced players like you two, you know, and the kind of leaders you are, I think that the youngers, they respect that, they see that there's no ego. We have a Armenian national team gold medalist, Lauren, and they see that, and they see their hunger, and there's no place for ego. And the team, same these two players there.
Little Nixie.
So, hey, I have to ask at first, happy birthday, Nixie. We know it's your birthday today. Happy birthday.
Say thank you.
So, hey, I have to ask, do you guys hate losing more than you love winning?
1000%.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I can't. Times 100 million trillion gazillion infinity. Like, I absolutely hate losing. I don't care how old I am or whatever. I hate to lose, even if it's just like me going to play Sunday League. And that's why. Yeah, honestly, like Sid and I, we just played Monday Night League the other day, and we like hate to lose. We're like, we are not losing. So yes.
More importantly, me and Lauren just played air hockey at the bowling alley, and it was ruthless between the both of us because we both hate losing so much that we ignored everyone else that was in the entire arcade, and we were just like hitting the air hockey puck and getting crazy.
And I had a big bruise on my leg.
No, and I stopped playing the Sunday leagues 5 years ago because I hated losing. I can recoup from losing the Sunday. It would be a disaster in my house.
I think I would rather pull a
I'd
hamstring.
rather not play.
I would rather pull a hamstring and not play than lose. But yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, 2021 was a huge year for Blue Heat and for you guys, both personally, individually, as well as a team, as a part of a bigger community. But does the national championship win and the way in which it was done, does it put a larger target on your back in 2022 with clubs here out west like Foothills and Impact, Congo, who really want to take on you guys?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think we always have a target on our back because of the amount of talent we have on our team, and everyone always says they hate playing against us. And I know like playing against the Canadian teams who were like, they're always very strong and stuff like that. But for sure, and that's what we feed off of, right? I love it when people like fear us. It's so fun.
Yeah, and like Foothill, they came this year with everything. I mean,
Yeah.
they were all over the place, and yes, it's always every year.
Yeah, I love the standard at which like we're set at. I think that's what makes Blue Heat so appealing to a lot of athletes as well, is like there's a standard and we want to uphold it. We want to keep it. And, we love that people want to come for us. And I think it's kind of that like a love-hate relationship where it's like people love to hate us. And like, I think I think as an athlete, like if people don't hate you, you're not doing it right. So
Exactly.
I feel like it's such a good feeling to know that like they want to come after us because we earned that. Like we earned that, the hate, but it's such like it's a fun hate. Like it's a good rivalry with everybody.
It's
Yeah.
healthy.
So I have to ask then, are we running it back with the same squad and be the first UWS repeat champions?
Let's go.
I hope.
I know me and Lauren are coming back. So
I talk to Carlos like once a week or every other week, and he's always recruiting and trying to get these players. And I don't know, but every time I talk to him, I just get excited. It's just like, and hopefully Lauren and Sydney are coming back.
Yeah, I'm going to play till I'm like 50 years old, guys. Let's go.
She's going to be the Tom Brady of women's soccer.
Seriously.
That's how Lauren's going to play this out right now. Hey, so let's get into some personal questions here. Sydney, you played for the club back from 2011 to 2013 and came back this season. What was the reasoning behind coming back to Blue Heat? You kind of mentioned it at the start of the show, but I'm curious to know a little bit more.
So after 2013, I decided to go and have a little stint over in Switzerland and played a little bit. So 2014, I went over there. And then when I came back, I ended up getting pregnant with the little human in the back that is trying to get everyone's attention. So when I got pregnant with her, I wanted to kind of focus and take a step back and be more of like a mom. And then once I decided, like I had my mom moment and the mom guilt was gone. I was like, you know what? I really want to compete again. And I want to compete at like a high level. I started out playing with the SoCal Crush because it was super close to home and I wasn't far away from her. And then I just was, again, I hate losing so much that I was like, I need to find Blue Heat again. And me and Carlos always stayed in touch. I let him know that I was playing with SoCal Crush, always had a great relationship with him. And I was like, Carlos, I'm ready to come back to Blue Heat. Like I've been training. I lost about 30 pounds after I, went through my mom phase. And I was, kind of had the national team in the back of my head. And I was like, I need to compete. And I called Carlos and I said, can I play? And he said, absolutely. And then jumped in and, was ready to compete and was so happy I did because we had such a great season. And I got to play with Lauren, who's one of my best friends off the field, and we hadn't played together before. So I think it was kind of just like the perfect storm to come back.
So Lauren, I have to ask, what was the season like for you with a championship, and how are you staying busy off the pitch? I know there's a lot of things that you're doing. You want to share some of that stuff?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I love soccer so much, and it's just such a huge passion. I always wanted to stay in the game. So that's why, playing for Blue Heat has been perfect. But off the field, doing a lot of stuff in this space to really just help female athletes, helping Sid see her do her career. A lot of us players don't have agents. We don't have people to kind of help us, mentor us through the whole process. So I have a mentorship company called You'll Train Sports that we're launching here in the next couple of weeks to connect with pro athletes around the world and to clubs and kids and players. I'm also a sports agent, and just doing a lot of stuff in that space, in the mental health space, just to kind of like help athletes across the board. And then also just filmed a soccer movie. So that's coming out next year called Little Angels. So just keeping myself busy and just, you know, kind of being there for all the female athletes, especially in light of what's going on right now. But yeah, just being a mentor. So if there's anybody that's listening to this that is wanting some advice or some mentorship on their career, feel free to reach out on Instagram at L Sesselmann. Like I find that it's very important as an athlete that has gone through so many different things to be accessible on my platform to really like help people. I didn't have a mentor growing up, so and I kind of just got lucky and figured it out. But as the more I talk to other athletes, it's very difficult for us to get our careers off the ground. So having somebody as a guiding light to kind of help, you know, is special. So reach out. I'm, you know, helping a lot of the youth right now that are coming through. So I'm excited to see where they go.
Yeah, that, and you have the show with the two TJs, which is
oh my gosh,
that's
oh my
fun.
gosh, oh yeah, and the NFL podcast with Orlando and TJ. So you guys check it out. It's called About the Game.
Hey, Ludi, how important has it been to have the types of leaders you have on the team in Sydney and Lauren, and what leadership attributes do you value from your players?
Oh, having Lauren and Sydney, they make my job and the coaching staff jobs a lot easier. I mean, with their experience and dealing with the other players, you know, they're on and off the field. They're excellent leaders, and they're not just excellent players. They're coaches on the field. So, you know, they have a different perspective, and they coach, they yell, they talk. We share the style we're going to play or the tactics of the other teams, and so they make the job a lot easier for everyone. So yes, they're excellent human beings.
So, Sydney, this year you earned your first cap for the Armenian women's national team, and actually participated in a World Cup qualifier this last month. What was that like for you, and what were some of the challenges that you faced to be able to participate for that World Cup qualifier?
So it actually, you know, it's been an absolute, you know, bucket list thing of mine to be able to compete like on the world stage, and being able to have like our first game and my first cap against Norway was absolutely unreal. We obviously didn't get the result we wanted, but as an athlete, to just be able to experience that type of game and be able to play against those type of athletes, Norway's roster is incredible. Their girls play for Barcelona, Man United, Liverpool, like they're just stacked. And so being able to compete in that atmosphere was absolutely incredible. I would say the biggest things that we have struggled with is being a brand new team. Armenia has not competed in a World Cup anything or even a match in the past 10 years. And I think this is our first time we've actually competed in World Cup qualifiers. So we're a brand new team. Our first official match ever was against Norway. And then we came home and had our first match ever against Poland in our stadium at home. So it was kind of incredible to experience that as well. But I would say we're a very new team. So we still have a lot of experience to go through, and a lot, you know, playing together. We actually go back on the 7th. I go back on the 17th, and we get ready to play against Albania and Kosovo. So I'm really hopeful that those games were going to be very competitive. I would love to score, get our first win out of those. But I think it's just going to come with time. I think the more we get to play together, the more Armenia is on the world stage, and you know, girls from all over the world that are Armenian get to see Armenia playing. I think it'll help us be able to recruit more and be able to compete at an even higher level. But we work our butts off on the field, so it's been super fun.
Awesome. Well, it was exciting to see. I know my kids. I had it on my smart board. Hopefully my principal's not watching, but I had it on my smart board at Bridges to show it. As you were playing. I'm like, I know her.
I appreciate it so much. It's honestly, I can't even put into words how like honored and blessed I am to be able to like compete on the world stage. And I know Lauren knows as well. I mean, we go out and I probably tell at least 10 strangers that she has a bronze medal from the Olympics, just because I think it's just like the coolest thing in the world.
And that's going to be you next, girl.
That's right.
Fingers crossed. And then Nixie.
Yeah.
That's right.
John, I actually have to leave, but I can take one more question.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
No, it's okay. I know you've got things to do, but so I wanted to ask you, Lauren, in 2020, The Athletic did a piece on you, talked about the idea of what's next. What got you involved with Blue Heat, and how important was it for you to get back on the pitch through everything that had happened leading up to coming back in 2017?
If you read the Athletic piece, just to touch on it, I struggled after I retired after the World Cup. I struggled kind of with my sense of worth and my purpose and my why in life. And I had a lot of concussions and went through depression and went through a really hard phase. Didn't basically want to live anymore. I mean, it's a pretty deep piece. And there's a documentary that I have coming out that it kind of goes in depth more, because I know there's a lot of people struggling that hopefully can help. And I found that without soccer, I didn't know who I was. And so I think it was important for me to kind of go back to my roots. And that's why I started implementing, the mentorship and all these different things that I knew would make me happy and I could still be in the soccer space back into my life. And I just realized how important it was to have in my life for me to be happy. And so stepping onto the field with Blue Heat and just being able to play again, after healing from what I was going through, the concussions and the depression and everything, was just kind of the most amazing feeling. And I know, as I always say, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I always say this is my happy place when I'm playing, even if it's just the Sunday league, It's just something about the endorphins when you're going out playing, competing and exercising. It's just so good for your mental health. And I think now that I've kind of found my place, I'm back on the pitch and I know what I want to do kind of more with my career. The healing process has been great. So Blue Heat has definitely helped me kind of get back to who Lauren was and just be happy again. And yeah, soccer is just such a huge part of my life and I never want it to go away again. So.
Well, awesome. Well, Lauren, I know you've got some things to do this evening. Have fun. Thank you for taking the time to join us, and I really appreciate it. We'll talk in the future.
All right. Thank you.
Bye,
You
Lauren.
two hold down the fort. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody, and thanks for listening. Bye.
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 So, Ludi, what is the primary goal going into each season? From your experience as a professional player, what do you look to pass down to your athletes every weekend?
It's the knowledge, and then every coaching is a learning process. So the more you get to know the players, the better that you can teach or coach. So I still learning, and I try to do the best for them. So yeah.
So for Sid and for Ludi, we were the only league, Pro-Am women's league, to hold a national championship, and even had it on My Cujo, where we had over 3,000 viewers who actually watched the match. What were your overall impressions from the weekend of the national championship in Round Rock, Texas?
The atmosphere was amazing. The environment, everything was so professional. And the competition, I mean, everything was perfect. And the feeling after the game was, amazing. But it was great. Everything was, 10 points.
Yeah, I have to agree. As a player, the facilities were fantastic. The competition was great. I know we came in, ready to play and ready to go because we had watched some of the teams. Yeah, we saw them play as well. So we were, came in ready to go and ready to play, and, loved the environment, the area, the field, the stadium. Every part of it was, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to join me this evening. I really had a great conversation. Sydney, I know you've got a birthday party that you're getting ready to attend. Ludi, I know you've got training this evening. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for taking the time to join us. And like I told Lauren, I look forward to having more conversations this season and in the future.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
All right, you have a great evening.
You too.
We'll talk soon.
Yes, Ludi. All right. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for UWS Weekly. You can follow all things UWS and UWS2 on their social media pages and send your questions for future shows as well. Don't forget to join the Our Cup of Tea crew Saturday morning. A special thanks to Joe for producing today and to Vivi for her behind-the-scenes help for tonight's show. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to watch. Cheers, everyone.